Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for being here. I am really excited to speak about today's video. Okay, Otis, okay, sit down, sit. I know you're excited. Like, this is a good one, y'all. This is a good one. Sit down. Okay, here we go talk about it. We know what the king did. The king gave a smackdown. Yes, he gave a smackdown to Harry because he is over now in the United Kingdom doing what he does. And the king showed him, a snub, the upper hand. Those kind of things that you do in a way that makes it look like you're being polite. We don't want to be too rude, do we? No, we don't. But we do want to show them that we are about business. You do not treat the king the way you've treated the king and expect to get a meeting. And the king gave him a smackdown. Oh, yes. And we're going to talk about it. Let's get into it. So as we see right now, Harry has made it over into the United Kingdom. He's in the United Kingdom doing what he does, trying to save face around his Invictus Games, the 10-year anniversary celebration that he is doing over there. And Meghan didn't even bother to come because she knows she is not going to be well received. She cannot handle being booed. And yeah, good for you, girl. You know where to keep your butt out of something because you know you're not going to want to hear those boos. It's going to be too much for you, right? It's going to be too much. You can't handle it. And that's the thing. You can put out a lot of negativity. You can put out a lot of bad things. But when it comes back in your face, you can't handle it. You can't show up. You can't just show up and be, oh, okay, I'm here to support my husband. I don't care what these people do. No, you know why? Because it's about Meghan. It's not about the Invictus Games. It's not about Harry and supporting your husband. It's about Meghan in this moment. And this is why she is not there. Okay? Just adhering to the things that we know about her. Okay, so essentially what has happened is the king has told Harry, I do not have time for you when you come to visit with me. And I just kind of want to look at the context of this, what it all means. The king. This is what I can imagine has happened. The king, I'm sure, thought perhaps I could meet with my son, okay, come have lunch with me, come have breakfast, whatever. But this is what I believe happened. And it was said with another royal correspondent, I can't remember who, but that Harry had placed demands, who could be in the room and who could not be in the room. And this is where the king drew the line. So a lot of people are saying that the king has told Harry no, but that's not exactly the truth. And I believe the latter, in that Harry has made demands on his father that the king did not want to adhere to, and therefore he gave Harry a smackdown. He was like, okay, let me give you to it an American girl kind of translation. Oh, or no, American black woman mother kind of a translation. Oh, you want to come up in my house and tell me who's going to be in the room when you meet with me? You better get gone. I ain't dealing with you. I'm not going to tolerate you trying to put demands on me and what I can do in my house and who you can say is going to be in the room when you come visit me. You better go. I'm not going to meet with you then. Go. And essentially it was a smackdown. That's what Harry got from the king. Translation, that's the way you do it. You put your son straight. After everything you've done, you think you're going to come up into my house and tell me how I'm going to do things? Oh, yeah. And so right after the king has done this smackdown to Harry, Harry puts out a statement. And this is the statement. In response to the many inquiries and continued speculation on whether or not the Duke will meet with his father while in the UK this week, it will not be possible due to His Majesty's full program. Now, this is the part where they could have just left that out, but this is how you should have gave your son a smackdown for this right here, because this statement came from Harry's people. Okay, this is the part they did not leave out, because all that I just read was okay. They just put out a statement saying, unfortunately, he can't meet. But this is the part where they tried to get slick, and I call it slick, because you're trying to still make it seem like you're being nice, but you're still trying to be slick. And he says, the Duke, of course, is understanding of his father's diary of commitments and various other priorities and hopes to see him soon. Other priorities? Your understanding of your father's diary and his commitments to every various other priorities. And that's just showing that he has other priorities instead of me. Well, you're darn right he does, Harry. You're darn right. You're not a priority. Look what you've done. The entitlement gets me. The entitlement really, it flabbergasts me. It's like you haven't learned anything. You still haven't been shown that you are really a despicable person yet, because you're still trying to show your spoiled brat-like behavior by having something placed in a statement that's supposed to sound friendly, but really sounds like you're giving back a dig to your dad because you put in various other priorities. Well, of course, your father would be a priority to you, Harry, if you've been behaving like a loyal, true son. But because you have not, you're getting the smackdown version of your father because you behaved like a spoiled wackadoo, a spoiled, egotistical brat. And this is why you are not getting this time with your father. It's almost like, when are you going to show some humility and understand that you have done something wrong and that perhaps maybe your dad does not want to meet with you and you understand it because of what you've done? It's like you can't even say or take responsibility for what you have done because you are still putting out something to make it seem as if your father is being the bad guy rather than taking ownership for your own behavior. The king has done a smackdown, and I am so glad he did, because Harry hasn't learned anything. And I think his response to his father not meeting with him could have been a great moment, a great learning moment for Harry to just look and see, yeah, I've really learned that what I've done is wrong. And perhaps he would have made a statement that made it really seem like sincere. Like, yeah, my father, he doesn't have the time. I get it. You know, I haven't been the best son lately. I've done some things that have upset him. And you know, I'm really sorry. And I don't blame my father for not wanting to meet with me. I don't blame him because I've been wrong. But he can't even do that, folks. Harry, you are a lost cause, dude. You are lost. You are going to be finding the biggest regret of your life. You thought you had regrets when your mother passed away and you didn't get a chance to say goodbye to her. The same thing's going to happen to your father. You're not going to get a chance to say goodbye to your father, and it's your own making because of how you've behaved. You can't even show that you've turned around and understand why your father can't see you for various other priorities. Man, I tell you, you better start sending Harry to somewhere where he needs to learn something. He needs to learn a thing or two. And I'm glad the king gave him a smackdown. Keep giving him smackdowns until he comes back and says what he's learned by his own behavior. Harry, keep yourself away for a long time until you learn how to do some introspective on yourself and understand how you need to change your ways before you ever expect the king to come back and want to meet with you again. And until you do that, Harry, he'll never want to meet with you. And good for the king, because you still haven't learned anything. And I just want to give a quick smackdown for the things that the king has done. He's done some smackdowns, and I'm going to give a very king, royal, his majesty type style of a smackdown. Harry, no, you cannot stay in the royal residence. Harry, no, you cannot come and meet with the king and demand who is going to be in the room with ya. Smackdown. Okay, anything else? Okay, be gone with you. Go learn something.